Hey guys, and welcome back to Nightmares at Home. At least I'd like to say that, but this video is kind of a blunder because there's no game audio, as I'm sure you're noticing right now. I had the wrong audio device. Pretty much set, which was weird because I heard everything, but that must have been what happened because obviously there's no game audio. So this is kind of awkward, and there's no way for me to, or well, there is a way for me to do this again, but I don't want to play this night again. And it's just overall frustrating because, spoiler alert, I guess the title pretty much says it all, I beat the game. And it took me a while, not too long, but we finally made it. And it's just really unfortunate that it has no audio. But yeah, just wanted to say that. And with that said, I guess try to enjoy what is just me talking, pretty much. That is not... Oh, remember, you can't touch the puppet. This is gonna hurt me now because of Springtrap. The thing is, I have to pretty much alternate between Springtrap's camera and Burntrap. Look at me, he's somewhere. Remember, look at him. Hide, flash. I guess now I hide? Stupid, bloody... Oh, I'm so screwed. Springtrap's gonna kill me. No. Oh boy. Come on, come on. Oh, I'm so screwed. All because I didn't stop him from opening the window. Hi there. Better run. It's just... I'm getting the gameplay loop more and more in this case, right? It's just that Springtrap is pretty much my biggest enemy. And the puppet sometimes, but Springtrap mainly. Because Springtrap sometimes just shows up out of nowhere. I don't know how to get rid of them. Or, you know, it's like I try to get rid of them, but it just fails. Oh, Lord. I almost did not notice that. Ooh. Also, I don't know if it was just me. The puppet... When the puppet started, like, making me hide... I didn't notice, like, Fredbear and Nightmare kind of disappeared. And if they kind of, like disappear, like, for half of the night because the puppet's starting to take over for them, that honestly is not bad. I mean, even the little rabbit kind of felt like they disappeared at some point. I feel like that might be a way of, like, the puppets, like, taking control from each of them. It's like, you can't do it, then I'm gonna have to do it for you. It's kind of way. Damn. See, the one tricky thing, you know what it is there? I don't know why I let this happen. When I see the fire, right? Like, sometimes I think, oh, they just left that area. But that's not always the case, obviously. The fire just stays there for a while, even after scaring them back. And that literally, I got paranoid there. That was my fault. That was my bad. Oh, thank goodness I saw that. Oh, thank goodness I made it. Oh, I did it! Oh, what do you got to say now, huh, puppet? Oh. Well. Oh, wake up. Oh, it was all a nightmare. Get it? Nightmares at home?
The darkest pit of hell has opened to swallow you whole. So don't keep the devil waiting, old friend. My daughter, if you can hear me, I knew you would return as well. It's in your nature to protect the innocent. I'm sorry that on that day, the day you were shut out and left to die, no one was there to lift you up into their arms the way you lifted others into yours. And then, what became of you? I should have known you wouldn't be content to disappear. Not my daughter. I couldn't save you then, so let me save you now. It's time to rest, for you, and for those you have carried in your arms. This ends, for all of us, in communication.
So that's okay. I have many thoughts on what the fact that this is taking place during FNAF 6. Our brother, I'm so sorry for what I did. Though again, I'm trying to wonder, like, because I'm at peace now, brother. So yeah, so okay, so the one speaking was our younger brother, we know that. But so I think the FNAF 6 call there is just meant to represent that, you know, that's what's, you know, that's when all this is taking place. But our puppet is still being possessed by our brother in this case. I think that's what they're trying to go for. Hearing the FNAF 6 call obviously makes it confusing, but I think it's just meant to set up, like, when would this take place, and this would be taking place during our final moments, right? When the FNAF 6 location is getting burned down, and at the very end of it all, we pretty much were finally haunted by our own guilt for everything, for our role, I guess, to everything that happened. Mainly the beginning, right? Obviously with the death of our younger brother that essentially sent William into a spiral, killing children, you know, bringing life, all that. But I still think, I guess I'm still assuming the intention is that, yes, the puppet's inhabited by the younger brother. At least that's what I'm assuming, because again, the brother starts talking, right? Our brother starts talking in night 5, and then, you know, like, as soon as they start talking and they start showing up and everything, right, saying that they're gonna, you know, get, I don't think they say they're gonna get vengeance exactly, but they're coming for us. And then obviously that's when the puppet shows up. So it's, you know, there's no way I can just say that it's not the puppet. My guess is the intention is that as the puppet arrives, that's because our puppet is the brother. So that pretty much leads to the end. Great job to everyone that was part of the game. In general, like I said, I had a lot of frustrations, but we finally went through it. It's kind of funny because in a way, the night gets easier as you, like, get towards the end, which was completely unexpected. Because obviously towards the end, right, we no longer see Nightmare, we don't see Fredbear, we don't see the little shadow bunny, the shadow plush trap. It's just the puppet and two versions of our father. Right, plush trap, burn trap, and spring trap, and it gets obviously a lot easier because burn trap you can easily push him back constantly, and spring trap you just keep an eye on, and puppet you just have to react accordingly. I will say, when all the fires started, like, you know, when the house was starting to, like, fill up with flames, everything got emblazoned. I was super worried. I was like, how's that possible? I was keeping my eye on Burn Trap. There's no way they just make him skip the entire night, right? Or the entire map. There was no way they let that happen. I was gonna be very frustrated if that happened. And that actually might have been, like, the breaking point for me. But it was just meant to, like, signify that we were nearing the end. But overall, that was fun. I'm so happy I got to be Night 6. Again, this game has been frustrating for a few reasons, but overall I enjoyed it. So obviously it is time to get my thoughts on it. Obviously there is no custom night, it was just nights 1 through 6. Honestly, I don't know how I would even think of a custom night to deal with, so I'd rather not. Here are the credits. We're gonna keep this here while we go through the, thoughts on the game and everything. In terms of visuals and audio, right? Audio, obviously a big part of this game when it comes to listening for when the bunny shows up, when Fredbear shows up, when the puppet shows up, and also just making sure that you don't get distracted by environmental cues like the monitor or the storm, or even in some cases the fire that's surrounding your room if burn traps gets too far, right? In general, the audio-wise, great job there. I would say in visuals, animatronic designs, the camera layout and everything, really cool. It's nice to see burn trap, I guess, in this game, because out of all the FNAF games I played, I know Security Breach is obviously not that old, right, compared to a lot of these other characters, but I haven't really encountered a burn trap in a fan game before. So this is my first time seeing burn trap. At least I'm pretty sure. I don't think I've seen burn trap in any other fan game yet. Excluding custom nights. Custom nights might be the only exception where I might be forgetting, but besides that, I haven't seen burn trap at all before, and it's cool to see him in a fan game in general. I know the community's thoughts on burn trap existing overall, right? It's pretty much a cop-out, from FNAF 6 leading to William's death. But in general, I just like the design. Despite the character having its issues, I like the design of burn trap in general, and it's cool to see him in a fan game. With that said, right, gameplay mechanics, camera system, audio cues, right? If anyone shows up at the window, you either look at them, the puppet, or flash them, Fredbear. Door, if anyone shows up at the door, mainly Nightmare and kind of the puppet, you have to hide. With the flashlight, you flash the puppet when they're in the office. Look at me thinking I'm in the office, in my room, or the little shadow bunny thing. Springtrap you have to watch on camera, and burn trap you have to push away from the camera. The idea of Springtrap going to your window and you having to scare them away, I do like that idea. I just wish it was only once, or at least like this, 1 to 2 times he should show up, but after the second time definitely go away, because sometimes I scared him away twice and all of a sudden he opens the window. If I were to critique some things about this game in terms of execution, it would be, one, needs to ease up on the hallucinations. The hallucinations are very disorienting, right? At least for me, they are. Like, it took me a while to get adjusted to them. And literally, right, the monologues, the dialogue at the beginning of each night, make them skippable. Oh, another thing, I wasn't a big fan of how sometimes burn trap would just resist the flash for no reason. That's not something that's mentioned, but just in general, it's kind of frustrating. It's like wasting a flash, essentially, which doesn't feel good. I don't know if it's really needed to have that resistance mechanic in there for burn trap, but that's pretty much everything that comes to mind that I at least noticed while I was playing. And in terms of the story, right, I think the premise seems pretty straightforward. We're pretty much in the events of FNAF 6, and these nightmares are like us thinking back to the past, right? Thinking about how we got to this point, and obviously the very pivotal event of us killing our brother via Fredbear Springlock failure. And all that is pretty clear, right? The main interesting part is that the puppet is depicted as our brother, or our brother is depicted as the puppet, which, I have to imagine that's the intention, right? Because that part's weird. I will say that part's really weird, because there's no reason as to why they would go on to possess the puppet. I think that might be just like, I don't know, I don't really know why they decided to have the puppet be our brother, right, instead of just Fredbear. Maybe just from a design aspect it was cool, and in general it is a cool idea, but there's not a lot of logic that connects the events with what happened to our brother, right, and them going on to possess the puppet. It's a very, I don't know, it's kind of weird. The very ending there, when they showed the puppet being the one, that's after us, right? Very weird given the circumstances. But those are pretty much my thoughts on the game. Overall, had fun with it. Also had a lot of frustration with it. But I am glad that I finally finished it. And of course, with that said, I hope you did enjoy. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Lets me know you're enjoying the content and want to see more of it. The game will be in the description below as always. And with that said, I'll see you in another video. Take care.